Absolutely. Well, hey, everybody, put a one in the chat if you're ready to have a good day or a good night on team time. We are so glad to spend time in community. It is Monday, October 28th, which is wild because here we are a couple of days before Halloween, a couple of days before the end of the month, which I know can be kind of a spooky season for everyone else, but it's not going to spook us because we're going to come and hit it head on. Dee is here. She's got so much inspiration and heart to share with us from her time in Sundance. And we also wanted to give you a little bit of an update on what happened with our fat burn blitz over the last couple of weeks that we've done with our clients, which has been really fun. I want y'all to put in the chat a guesstimate on how much weight was lost that was reported in our spreadsheet. So we've been keeping track of how much weight is lost. And so throw in your guess into the chat. And I'll just tell you a couple great things that people said is that they gained hope and confidence. Their body and their mind feels better. Their clothes fit better and they're sleeping better. I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody who would say that they don't want all of those things to gain hope and confidence, have their body and their mind feel better, their clothes fitting better, and sleeping better. It's pretty incredible to think about what's possible in just 14 days. All right, Dee, over to you.
All right, I love that. And Meg, maybe you could summarize that for us and Coaches Out for Change, what those benefits were, and maybe the total weight loss, maybe the average per person. Because one of the big messages of tonight and what I took away from being at Sundance was that we really are the beacons of hope for people. And we have really slid into a world of complacency. People are losing hope, but we have something incredible and we really want to be out there. They gave this analogy of like, we're not just the fire or the flame, like we are the candle that goes out and lights the fires for others. So my challenge to you would be, once Meg posts that, why not go out and share it? Create your own post about what happened with it. And we could talk about, do we want to run another 14-day blitz or whatever, but invite people in to what's possible for them. So I am glad you guys are here. Got my Sundance sweatshirt on. There is a story assigned to this, so that's why I wore it. But I'm glad you're here. And as I shared, if you saw my Facebook Live, we're going to talk about some of the new stuff that's coming with Optavia, but this is going to be my best attempt in 25 minutes to regurgitate to you what was delivered over 2.5 days. So I know you're here because you care. I know you're here because you want growth. So just know that anything I share is from love. There might be a little conviction out there, but know it comes from a place that I want to deliver what can help you move forward. And so before we jump into some of the new stuff that's coming, I think that the real foundation of this, so this is they think they called it the Sundance Advanced Leadership Impact Summit. So it was open to the top 95 coaches or leaders in the company. And I think I shared with you, I was really unsure whether or not I would be there, but I got the clarity that I wanted to be there and cleared the dates on my calendar, wrote it in as if I was attending, and then set my mind and my actions to being there. And I'm so glad that I was in the room. And I really went with, and I hope you guys can be here, with an open heart and an open mind. There used to be times when I've attended that I would be intimidated by who was in the room, maybe intimidated that my business was smaller than others or I wasn't doing as much as others, but I totally just took it as a learning experience. And I'm so glad that I did, because it left my heart and my mind open to really what is possible. So the one thing they talked about a lot was mindset. And we have come through a season when we were peaking, 2020, 2021, 22 even, we were peaking. We were up there, right? We just rode that high. And it's different now. It doesn't mean it's better or it's worse, but it's different. And many of us, including me, walked into that event feeling tired. And just put like a one in the comments if you have just felt kind of tired coming through this challenging season. Let me just see your See your comments. Yeah. Thanks for your honesty. And what they reminded us of is when we're tired, we tend to focus on obstacles, right? We tend to focus on what's not going well. But there's emotions attached to it. And the emotions really are they just present opportunities for us. And they talked about something called a perception cycle. And basically, if your business is not growing, it is a sign that something within you needs to shift and to grow. And as I shared on my live earlier today, every step of the way of this journey, my business has never moved unless I personally moved. I could be sometimes doing all the actions, but unless there was a shift within some kind of energy within me, night and day in terms of what the outcome was. So in a perception cycle, they talked about there's emotions of blaming, shaming, anger, sadness, right? We might have all have felt this, right? As Optavia has shifted, we've seen like, what are they doing? GLP-1s, like, that's not who we are. My business is not where I want it to be. Maybe I'm a bad coach. So we've got these emotions that come up within us, and then we start to attach a story to that emotion, right? The story is there, and then we start to look for evidence to support our story, right? And they called it, I love this, they said that our story becomes our bunkhouse, and we can start to hang out there. We start to camp out there. So the one thing they described was first to challenge your story and ask if it's true. And I'm going to share something about Kristen Glass that really stood out to me. And then based on that story, do you want to accept it? Do you want to cling to it? Do you want to hang on to it? Do you want to continue to carry that kind of sack behind you? Or are you ready to let it down and start something? And do you want something different? And they said, like, do others see the situation the same way as you do? And to be careful that we're not just looking for people that are going to substantiate the story that we've created. And I want to tell you this little Sundance story before we go too far. So I have a friend in this business. We've kind of grown up through Optavia together. We actually met at Sundance. I think we figured out it was 7 or 8 years ago. We check in on each other, periodically. We kind of call it peer mentoring. And we were both wondering and hoping and, striving to be in the room at this event. So we both qualified. We were both there. And but before it started, we'd gone into the Sundance store. Now, Sundance is this beautiful resort that used to be owned by Robert Redford. It's cozy, it's quaint, it's warm, it's wooded. The store has all kinds of cute stuff. And I looked at the sweatshirt, saw the price tag on it, and I was like, yeah, no, not in today's world. Really shouldn't be doing that. And my peer said, you know what? I'm going to buy it because I don't know if I'm going to be here again in the future. I don't know if I'm going to qualify, so I'm going to get it because I need a memory. And I was like, oh, well, gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be here again in the future. You know what? Gosh darn it, I'm going to buy it. So I buy it under this really negative concept, right? I went back into the store later on a lunch break. Somebody else is looking at it, and it came in gray, it came in cream. I'm talking to this girl, and do you know what I said? Because she looked at the price, and I said, I bought it because honestly, I don't know if I'll be here next year. And she kind of looked at me like I had two heads. She was on Kristen Glass's team, right? And I thought, wow, I took that negativity and I spread it, right? And it was under such a negative mindset. Like, why wouldn't I be there? I would only be there if I thought my business was happening to me and not that I didn't have control of our business. So of my business. So one of the things that when we talk about this perception cycle is you've got to make a decision, and then just know, guys, if you make a decision tonight that it's your ground zero, right? That, people always say, I wish I was on the ground floor opportunity. You are, right? Like you've got ground floor opportunity. Just know you're gonna resistance is gonna come up. It's going to come up in different ways from other people, from yourself, from your family. It's going to come up, but getting that clarity and commitment and recognition of kind of where you are is going to make a big difference. So before I jump into some of the Sundance stuff, Shauna, while I was gone, you posted in our group about kind of a revelation that you had about your business.
Come off mute here. Yeah, I did, Dee, because I was reading in a book and something about mindset and the cognitive triangle and all of that popped up and I thought, oh my gosh, holy smokes, everything you said. I mean, basically that's what it is. Everything you said was just swirling around in my brain and I realized I have been in this stinking fixed mindset. And y'all, it's all me. Frank is like a boss. I don't think he ever gets negative about anything about this business. He's just go, go, go. But I have been, and it has caused me to kind of just sit back and just take a pause. And that's my mode when I get in that place is I check out. And this is the book that really kind of got me going here. It's Mindset by Carol Dweck. And if you don't have it, get it. It's been on our bookshelf probably for 3 or 4 years, and I've never read it. And it was mentioned in this other thing that I was reading. And I thought, I bet we've got that book. And sure enough, we did. But she says one thing that I thought was so profound. She said, when we're in a fixed mindset, we tend to be in this experience of trying to prove ourselves over and over and over again. And we really have nothing to prove. We've got an amazing business. We've got an amazing program. We don't have to prove it. We don't have to talk people into it. And, we just have to be in this more growth mindset of sharing it and not getting stuck. Because when you get stuck in that fixed mindset, everything shuts down. And I thought, I've spent my entire life trying to prove myself. I didn't realize I've been my entire life in a fixed mindset, but it was so profound. So I would encourage, if you don't have this, to go out and get that one.
Yeah, that's a great message, right? And a reinforcement of personal growth, right? You had to come to a self-realization of something within you that like, wow, this is something that's holding me back versus all this stuff around me. So let's talk about some of the good stuff that is coming because Nick Johnson was talking about relationships, right? And partnerships, and we're in partnership with Optavia. And one of the things I loved what he said was he said, the great thing, how you know you have a great partnership is when you both don't quit at the same time, right? So Optavia is over there, they're doing the things. And I'm hoping we have enough time that I can share all, but I'm gonna go kind of rapid fire through this stuff because what they shared with us, they took us into an area that they had set up like the house, like the Optavia house of the future, going 24 to 27. Right. So they're looking out 2 to 3 years ahead working on things. So I was having a little trouble with my PowerPoint. So I'm going to kind of go basic here. I might not be able to go full screen with it, but I want you to be able to see. So can you guys see? Let me see this. Let me see if I can go bigger. Oops. Hold on. It's not letting me switch. All right. I'm just going to read off this real quick. So the couple of things that they are working on that it's amazing, you guys, is this Habits of Health Hub. So think about our app that we have, which I found out they are actually updating like every 10 days. They make a change and an upgrade to the app. But they're going to eventually have this upgraded Habits of Health Hub, they're going to call it, which is going to have actually a portal in it where clients can record their fuelings, they can record their water intake, they can record their sleep, their healthy movement. That will actually come over to us, that we can actually see it in the portal, and we'll actually be able to communicate that with them within the portal. So the analogy they gave is like if you've ever been on Airbnb and you can communicate with the host via the portal, it'll be something like that where they'll get a notification, there's a message. So that was really cool. The other thing that's awesome about it is there will be an audible version of the Habits of Health system. So the Life book and the Habits of Health book will be in this audible format. It will be in the hub. So another thing, it's actually under pilot right now, and from like October to December, is they're actually looking at a subscription service. And this is going to be something that would replace Premier Club, which can be confusing to clients. It can be confusing when their orders jump from the first month to the second month. It can be confusing. Why do I have to order $175 in order to get discounted shipping? So this subscription service would be a monthly fee that people would pay to be a part of it, and then they would get benefits that come with it. Those benefits being that they would get 20% off all their orders that are $100 or more. And then they would also get free shipping on any order that's $100 or more. So they felt like this could be potentially something that will carry us if we've got somebody that comes in just wants to do the active program, maybe just order some supplemental things, or people that once we've carried them through to transition and to maintenance just want ongoing for that. There will be other benefits to it, but part of the benefits will be having access to that Audible system and that Habits of Health hub. You would have to be an active member of the subscription service to have access to that. So again, that's all I know. What they're trying to do is keep current with what consumers are currently used to in the marketplace, and subscription services are the thing right now. We've got our Ascend fuelings and also a vitamin line coming through, not just a multivitamin line, but also a menopause vitamin line and some other things. That's real exciting. We got to sample all the products again. December 4th, we get the access to purchase those, and it's going to roll out December 26th. So that's like 2 months from now, you guys, for clients. Over the next 2 to 3 years, upgrading the Optivis University, more and more modules for helping us learn, social media marketing tools, Canva templates, a coach and client transformational podcast that would come out on a regular basis, a revamped new coach kit where we may have the option to actually, when a coach comes on, they would get some basic things, but then they could choose, do they want swag? Do they want office supplies? What do they want with that coach kit? And then they talked about an enhanced recognition system based on your love language. So some of us are words of affirmation people, some of us like gifts, some of us like trips. So kind of based on who you are as an individual, starting to give feedback and awards based on that. So very, very cool. I'll share more as I know. But as I told you on the live, products, new things, sometimes I've actually seen even on our team and within myself, sometimes the new stuff can even paralyze us, right? We're thinking it's this new thing that's going to fix us and fix our business, but then we go into confusion and we don't do anything. So that's why so much of the event and so much of what we talk about on Team Time is about our mindset, the energy. What are we bringing to this? What is our vision? Because I just talked about that Optavia is looking to the future. So they're doing their part over there. When they saw the industry changing with GLP-1s, Nick clarified, he said, listen, we were looking to expand the number of people that we could serve. Numbers show 50% of people who are looking for weight loss are considering the GLP-1. So we need a tool to operate with that. We can't operate in a solo of only being that. They gave statistics that I think it's 30 million people. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to clarify this. 70 million people by 2030 will have tried and come off of some GLP-1 medication. 70 million. So the market that they see us in right now is we've got our 5-in-1, our classic clients. They want to come in, do it through nutrition, habit change, maybe be a part of the active program. We got our classic population. We've got our person who is looking for or considering GLP-1, and we've got the habit change and the tools to work with them. And then we've got the people who have done that and are now back, right? And so we've got this wide range of programs and tools that we can do. And so they're really doing their part. And what they challenged us on is, are we doing our part in this business? Are we doing our part of showing up? Because very often when our emotions start to take over, that is when we stop showing up. We stop showing up on meetings. We stop showing up for ourselves and our personal health. We stop posting. We stop showing people what's possible. We stop showing transformations. Now, of course, we've got some story attached to all this, but basically we've pulled back and we're not really doing our part to be out in the world, really showing this discouraged world what is possible. So what I would like you to do, I'm going to show you real quick. This was something from Kristen Glass. I'm going to show you two things. So this, I'm hoping you can see it. This slide, this is all the people that Kristen Glass had at Sundance. These are all global directors and above. She has broken this year new global directors and a new integrated presidential director. 4 years ago, she was like me. She had attended this event for the first time by herself. And what she did is she saw a vision, she saw what was possible, and she decided to share it. And she hasn't slowed down. And so when I asked you the question of like the story that we've come up with, and I said, is it true? And do other people believe it? Kristen Glass does not believe it. Now, she is a workhorse and whatever. And sometimes I think, gosh, how does she do it? But I will tell you the energy she spreads and the consistent actions, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing and she knows what is possible. So on a piece of paper, I want to go through this activity tonight. I want you to draw this continuum. And on the one side of it, write inconsistent. And on the opposite side, write consistent. And there's nobody looking over your shoulder. So I want you to be very obvious, very honest with yourself and put a tick mark where you are on this continuum, because these are the 12 basic behaviors that Kristen does, that her leaders do, that they teach their coaches. And so just it's a self-check. So the first thing is the business activities. Do you know your numbers by 10 a.m. every single day? So do you go into Optavia Connect? Do you see how many orders have come in? What's your projected premiere? If you have a team, do you know where they are? Do you know where your TGen is for your group? Do you know where you are today versus where you were last month on this day? And if you don't know how to find this, Meg and I can help you find all of this. Do you know what your current rank is? Because avoidance is a pesky little thing that never works in our favor. And if we're ignoring it, what it's signaling, the messaging from that is that you don't feel like you have control. So we'd rather not look because we feel like it's out of our control. So we're letting it happen to us versus being present. It's kind of like stepping on the scale, right? When we ignore it, it's not going to help your situation improve if you're not looking at what the numbers are. That's number one. So just on that continuum, are you posting daily, fully engaged, that you are an obvious Optavia health coach, including posting 5 transformations per week? Not because you have to, but because you want to let people know what is possible and that you are still here and you are open for business. Number 3, are you attending weekly team meetings, Zooms, mentors with your coach, boot camps, or attending the recordings? Number 4, are you congruent with your health? Number 5, are you doing the activities you would want your coaches to be doing, or you would teach a new coach to do? Are you calling your clients? Are you showing up on calls? Are you posting? Yeah, are you doing the things that you would want somebody on your team to be doing? Number 6, do you submit a monthly order every month directly under your coach? Number 7, are you inviting clients and other people to Coach Explores, Zoom events that talk about coaching, and related items, inviting them to the coaching opportunity? Number 8, do you know everyone on your team? Now, again, they were talking about leaders, but we could translate this down. Do you know everyone on your team and what's important to them? And you could look at this from your client perspective too. Do you really know your clients and what is important to them? Number 9, are you acting like a health coach who is running a national health coaching business? Number 10, do you commit to earn the CSB Plus every month? That's 2 new clients or more. Number 11, are you interacting on social media beyond just your own post? Are you commenting on other people's posts, not coaches, but other potential clients, your own clients? Are you starting conversations in PM? And then number 12, are you working to achieve the map that you've determined on, or the rank you've determined on your map for the month? Are you working to achieve that rank by the 20th of every month? So this is something that I would like you to share with your business mentor. I was very convicted. I would say I had 40% of the thing, at least 40% I was inconsistent with. And so it was convicting. And the question was, are you willing to make a commitment out of gratitude to this company for what it's done for you? And the big thing they asked us is, don't compare yourself to where you were a year ago or 2 years ago. Compare yourself to where you were before you started Optavia. And they had us write down our monthly income. And like, if I would have known that I would be making this monthly income the day I bought my health coach kit, I wouldn't have believed you. It's nowhere near what I used to make. Nowhere. It concerns me at times now with paying a mortgage. But like, if I knew that, right, am I out sharing because what this could do, it'd be radically changed. And if I went out with the heart, I know this for myself, with the heart check in the right place, sharing this, I have no doubt my business would grow. Our team would grow. Our energy would shift. So we're going to run out of time. I want to have 2 people share real quick, and then we're going to finish with a part 2 next week because there's 2 more exercises for us to go through. But self-check on that. I hope it meant a lot to you to see that in writing. And there's no surprise that the 3 people who have earned the client support bonus on our team this month are people that have never failed in terms of posting transformations. And so Frank, I would love you just to speak on that for a minute, because I know that that is something that is always in your wheelhouse. You never stop.
Okay, for a minute.
Yeah.
I've got
Best
to
you
be
can,
honest
the
with you.
benefits.
I had a lot more planned than a minute.
Okay, go ahead, take your time.
No, I don't want to, because it was like a 5-minute thing. So I know that.
Okay.
So maybe we can do it some other time. But really, consistency is key. I've never heard or read about a successful person that wasn't consistent, whether sports, entertainment, business, any endeavor you can think of. Consistency is probably the #1 factor they mentioned. But I had a bunch of things I wanted to kind of put out there. Maybe we can do it some other time. I know you want somebody else to share.
Okay, that would be fine. We'll start next week with you, Frank.
Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
because and the individuals who have earned the client support bonus, if you want to go look at their pages this month, are Frank and Shauna, and then also Kelly. Want to recognize, shout out to Kelly, who just got the 5% bonus because she has 5 new clients this month. And then this dark horse coming out of nowhere is this Julie Tracy. So Julie, are you on with us tonight?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Hey, Julie. I have just been witnessing a shift in energy with you, your boldness in posting. You have 2 new clients. So maybe you can just share with the team a little bit about what's happening in your world and your
Oh,
mindset.
sure thing. It's really been a couple things. First of all, I think the new peer mentoring group that we just started. Thank you, Dee, for organizing with Lori, Laura, Stephanie, and Felicia. And even though we've only Zoomed once, we've already been connecting, at least every other day or so on text messages. We've established some goals that we each have, and we're posting comments on each other's posts and stories. And that's really uplifting, because a lot of times you take a lot of time to do a post and nobody says anything. So I think it's just been really helpful to have this peer mentoring group. The second thing is I created a weekly to-do list, and I'm just a list person, but I've been spending a lot more time just being consistent on friend requests, on posting stories and conversations, trying to do one reel a week. And then I listen to at least one 1 hour Zoom a week. And I'm trying to listen to people that are, top leaders, that even just the ED calls, I listen to those sometimes, the One More boot camp or the Synergy. I'm posting in multiple places. So I'm in all different kinds of groups, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Nextdoor, just all over the place. And I really tried to actually have a coach focus this year. This month I've talked to at least a dozen people about coaching, and most of them aren't even
Wow.
clients, and I wasn't a client either. So it's just kind of trying to stay motivated and consistent.
I love that, Julie. Who else on this call could say they've had 12 coaching conversations this week?
Wow.
Right. And I'm looking at the screen, several of us that came in, right? Not as clients even, right? It's because somebody looked out and thought this could be a great opportunity for us. So Julie, great job. It shows the power of being with other people that want to move forward, using that energy together, and then being consistent. And I've seen your boldness, and what I've seen so much in your post is a belief. It seems like a belief in our company, and a belief in the solidity of our company, and a belief in what it is that you're offering, and that's coming through. So well done. Well
Thanks.
done. All right, Meg, I'm going to pop it over to you. I'm going to start letting you, if you'll do our drawing for attendance tonight, and then we'll get ready for the community call.
All right, let's get a winner. I'm going to spin the wheel. Let's see who it is. These prizes have been fun. Felicia, you are our winner tonight. Congratulations.
Fantastic. I felt like, you know what, it was so funny. That was one of the few things I contributed to my groups. It was that we were doing this to encourage attendance and whatever. And all the other leaders were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start doing that. So super fun. So congratulations, Felicia. Guys, come back next week, part 2
Thank you,
of
Dee
this.
and Meg.
So here we go. Yeah. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. You're here all the time. We see you. So
I try.
yeah, you do. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for those of you that shared. I'm going to stop this recording and get us going.